Because running an app on an emulator is much like using an app on an actual mobile device, most developers are turning to emulators as a tool to test and even debug their app code. While emulators are a safe place to test code, especially at the beginning of the design phase, using an emulator on a computer does require some configuration to function properly. That's why, in this video, you will learn how to configure and launch an emulator. You can configure an emulator with the help of the Android Virtual Device, or AVD, in Android Studio. In particular, with the AVD, you can specify the interaction between the development computer and the emulator. Let's explore some of the Avd properties you are most likely to use when configuring your emulator in Android Studio. The first is the Avd name. You can use this to specify the name of the device you want to create. Then, there's Startup Orientation, which sets the orientation for the device. You can select either landscape or portrait mode. Another property you are likely to use is Emulated Performance. This allows you to specify the number of processor cores from your computer's hardware that you'd like to use for the emulated device. The more processor cores you use, the faster the emulator. You can also set the RAM, or Random Access Memory, in Memory and Storage, which is an advanced setting. Although the manufacturer sets a RAM value for the device by default, you can override this by specifying a new RAM value. As a note, the higher the RAM value, the more resources the device will consume on your computer. Now that you know some more about the Avd properties you may encounter when configuring an emulator, let's explore how to configure and create an emulator in Android Studio. In this video, you'll learn how to configure an emulator in Android Studio. In the Welcome to Android Studio window, access the Virtual Device Manager by clicking the three-dotted menu in the upper right-hand corner, then clicking on Virtual Device Manager. Although there are existing devices to choose from, click Create Device on the top left to create a new one. This will open the Virtual Device Configuration window, where you can choose the type of device you want to emulate. You have different device categories available to you, including TV, phone, wearables, tablets, and automotives. However, for this video, the focus is phones. You can select Pixel 2 XL and then click Next. On this page, you need to select the system image you want your device to run. This is a copy of an Android operating system that is used by an emulator. A system image called API32 is already downloaded. Although you have the option to download others, let's use API32 for the purpose of this demonstration. So, click API32 followed by Next. This takes you to the Android Virtual Device, or AVD page, where you can verify the configuration of the device. You can name the AVD whatever you'd like. Using the Change buttons, you also have the option to change the device and system image that you selected earlier on. Next, you can choose to make the device portrait or landscape. Then, you have the advanced settings, which allow you to customize many more properties. This includes the option to specify the RAM you want the device to run on, the internal storage, and even the additional memory and storage from an SD card. All devices in the market have these features. Although these settings can be changed, for this video, let's use the values already assigned here by default. And that's an overview of how to configure your emulator. You can then click Finish to create it. The Pixel 2 XL emulator is now available in the Device Manager. To run the emulator, click on the Play button. You may need to wait a few moments as it launches the emulator. The emulator pops up in a separate window. It looks exactly like an actual device because the Android system image allows you to experience the look and feel of any Android device available to you in the market, which is incredible. So here's your emulator device with different apps running on this system image. In subsequent videos, you'll learn how to install your own apps on this emulator. You should now know how to configure and launch an emulator. This is an essential skill for Android mobile app development, as you will likely use emulators to test and debug your own apps in the future.